Talk Show with yours truly, Coach Latoya, here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. Happy Saturday, my people. Love y'all. I hope y'all got a good weekend planned because we are going into this holiday. So I hope Memorial Day is good for all of you. Hope you got some good plans, some picnics, some barbecue, some good food, okay? All right. So thank you to all the listeners, everybody that's tuned in over the last few months. Definitely appreciate y'all. If you missed the show, It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I've got some shows on YouTube. Go ahead, look up Life Transitions on YouTube. You can find some shows there. I've also got them on my website, 7steptransition.com. Click on the radio button. You should be able to see some shows there as well. So we're getting them loaded for you. We've had some excellent, phenomenal, crazy past guests. So want you to tune into those conversations. So, all right, y'all. So today I am so excited. Y'all don't even understand the guest I have for you today, y'all. She's special. She's my celebrity. I don't care what she say, but she is my celebrity, my inspiration, y'all. She's a business owner, costume stylist, prayer warrior #1. She gonna motivate you. She's gonna inspire you to be and do all that you can in life. Okay. She's had some adversity. She's gone through some transitions, y'all. So this will be a great show. Please help me welcome Miss Keely Benbree.
Hello.
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you. Oh, I didn't include there that Keely is also a fellow Florida A&M Rattler. Okay.
Don't rattlers.
Oh my goodness. But Keely and I go back. I call myself an honorary member of their family because
That's our cousin.
I'm that cousin for real. She
Mm-hmm.
comes from a very big family. And I had the pleasure and honor of being in school with a lot of them, a lot of her cousins and all of that, and then being able to meet her at FAMU. So I am an honorary member of the Wright family, okay? Those Wright kids are definitely, I feel like I'm their little sister. But so I've known Keely and we go back, but I want y'all to get a chance to meet her and know her. So Keely, give them a little background, who you are, and some wonderful things about you.
Okay, let's see. I am first and foremost a child of God. That's my #1 job. I am a mommy of 2 amazing young men that I'm trying to get it right, get it tight with. And I am a costume designer for film and television, a store boutique owner on 2 different locations called Secur boutiques. Own real estate, do Airbnbs, trying to do my thing in that, trying to do a little shum. Yeah. I wear different hats.
Yes.
But yeah.
She also represent New York, y'all. She's
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from East New York, Brooklyn originally, but I lived all over Brooklyn. But I reside in Jersey now.
Okay.
I decided to just move on up and out. Live a little safe.
That. So tell us, how did you land in costume design? Because she's being real modest, y'all, but she's like big time in this.
I am modest.
Area.
I am.
Don't be modest.
Costume design. So believe it or not, one of my best friends kind of snuck and I started out as a celebrity stylist, a model, then a celebrity stylist. And one of my best friends kind of snuck and was like, oh, you need to get back into this world. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do design. I don't want to do the styling world anymore. I just want to be a normal person, whatever that looks like, right? But God knows the plans that he has for you. And she was just like, well, just meet me on set. She's an actress. And she was like, meet me on set. We're just going to hang out. It's my last days. And I was like, okay, I could do that. I know how to hang out, if nothing else. Have a good time. So I went and met her on set, and then she introduced me to the head costume designer, Amy Roth. And then Amy was like, hey, I heard you're a celebrity stylist. I could really use you on my team as a shopper and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, well, I don't really know what you mean, because I didn't know that world. But little did I know, I did know that world, because I was making outfits for different people to get in the union 10 years prior to that introduction, but had no idea what the union was, because they like to keep it a certain color over there. And once I found out and got into that world, I was like, oh, wait, I have insurance. I I get consistent checks. I get paid really well. Okay, this will work. This will do it. So I'm just grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful for friends who see a vision that you can't see on your own, without sometimes when I always say this, sometimes when you're in the cloud, you can't see out of it, right? But you know that there's something inside of you that actually, excuse my background noise, because I'm always doing something, y'all. There's something inside of you that's just sitting there and you're like, what is this, God? What is this feeling? I knew my gift had something to do with clothing, but I didn't know how deep it was. You know what I'm saying? It was bigger than just the clothing. It was more so, who is she? Who is he?
Yeah.
And how do I bring the best part out of them?
Yeah.
Through clothing, right? So it took years of me styling celebrities, and I was like, God, this ain't it. I'm grateful. This is a lot of people dream, and I thought it was mine, but Lord, I don't think find somebody else to do it, because I don't think this is what I want to do, because it doesn't make me feel, it makes me feel good in moments, but 100% it didn't make me feel good. I felt small. So I was like, it had to be something greater in there. I was like, I know this is my gift, but what's my purpose?
Come on.
And then God sat me down for a couple of years. I was only supposed to sit down for 1 year. Y'all, 1 year is a lot when we're talking about we're only promised 75. You know what I'm saying? My biggest thing is live your best life in real time. And I was like, it was depressing. It felt like my world was falling apart.
Yeah.
I went to nothing against regular retail, but I went back to regular retail management, and I took a big pay cut. I went from working and making 5,500 a day in styling, and that's on a low day. That ain't even involving like videos and stuff, right? To moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and sat down there for a year. I actually sat down for longer than a year. God only said 1 year, but my disobedience had me sitting down longer. And I think I was making, as a store manager, $16.50 an hour. Can I tell y'all that was the best years of my life? Ooh. At that point? You know what I'm saying? Years got greater later. Yes. But I was happy because I had consistency and stability. Where with styling, it's like go, 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 go. It's like you're not living, you're just existing, right? So what everybody perceives is what they receive. So people perceive that, oh, she's a stylist, you know what I'm saying? She's driving a BMW. Yeah, you can have all of that, but then you don't have relationships as far as with the man, with a significant other. Your relationship is like, unless he really understands, and no man can really understand his woman just being gone all the time. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then you got children, at one point it was just one son, and I would drag him with me everywhere, and that's not healthy either. But we did what we had to do with what we got. Yeah. But but then here came the second child, and I'm like, this ain't it, God. It got to be more. So he told me to sit down, went down to Atlanta for a year, took a huge pay cut, but I was happy. Yeah. But then when God said that's enough, I was like, well, what do I do now? Because how do I go back? Because I don't want to go back to that. But sometimes as you're going every day and you're growing, as you're going every day, make sure you're growing every day as well. Yeah. So sometimes we get so caught up in the routine and the work that we're not listening to God. Yeah. We're not watching what he's showing us in real time. And the only way you can do that is by being quiet. Mm-hmm. Right? Having that quiet time. Like I always remember my sister used to always say, peace, be still. And I'm like, you learn so much in that stillness. You learn so much in that quiet time. And I was like, I didn't get it. So when he said stop, I did it another year. I was disobedient. And I was like, God, you said stop. And then he made it uncomfortable. And I was like, why you got to go and do that for? So when he says move and you don't move, you're going to move. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's either you're going to go left or you're going to go right, but you better make a choice. And God gives us free will, but we still going to we're going to circle that block and have to do it all over again. Because although he gives us free will, he still has a plan for us. He does. So it's like, you could either get it now or you could get it later. Yep.
But
So I
you're
got
gonna
to
get
lay to go.
it. But
But
you're
you're gonna
gonna
get it.
get
You're gonna get the easy way, you're gonna get it the hard way, but you're gonna get it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
So so I got to
mhm,
go back and talk a little bit because there are so many people that
yeah,
are doing jobs and they are, initially thought this was what they wanted to be doing. They're like, yes, this is what I prayed for. I want it to be here. But there's something tugging at them saying, you know what? There's something better, right? There's
that part.
something more. And those jobs look good. Like you said, you're making the money you want, you got insurance, you driving the car you want. And so to a lot of people, that's like their dream. It's like, oh, you got it
And
made.
they could be comfortable now.
Yes.
But many are called, but very few are chosen.
Come on.
So those who are chosen, y'all, we can't sit still. So if you get that itch, you know what I'm saying? Like you get that itch, like crackhead for his next fix, it's time to move on. And when you feel it, I always tell people your first thought is your God thought. So when you feel like this ain't for me no more, God told me at 5 years old, it might have been 4, get uncomfortable with being comfortable. And back then, I didn't know what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
But I remembered that phrase and I was like, get uncomfortable with being comfortable. I would just say it in my head and I'm like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So in real time in my adult years, I'm like, every time I'm comfortable, it's time to make a move.
Yeah.
It's time to elevate because when you're a kingdom kid, you can't be here. God needs you to go to okay, you executed the assignment here, time to level up.
Kind of move.
Executed there, time, and there's no ceiling when God is involved.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no ceiling. But if you don't meet the requirements at that level, you're gonna have to do it all over again. If you don't get the message at that level, you're gonna move up. You can
Yeah.
move up if you want to. That's fine, and because you got to, but you better get the lesson though.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing new under the sun, and the lesson's gonna circle the block. It's gonna come
Yep.
back around.
It's coming
So
back.
it's just like, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I know. Yeah, but did you learn anything? Do you know how to execute it now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to eliminate? Do you know how to it's like, okay, I'm learning this lesson again. Don't waste your time learning the same lesson twice.
Over
If
again.
it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, it's 9 times out of 10, it's a duck.
It is. It
Right,
is.
right.
It is. So I love all of this. I do. I do have to go back a little bit though.
Let's
So
go.
when you were in college, for
Yeah.
people that want to aspire to do what you do, when you were in
Mhm.
college, when you were younger, your high school years, how did you choose fashion, or did fashion choose you? How did you choose this industry? How did you choose that?
I think I always, so for me, a lot, y'all all gonna be surprised, those who know me. It's not that I love fashion. I don't love, I love to see it when it's done right. And it's not that it's done right, it's your confidence in what you're
Mhm.
wearing. That's when it's done right, right? So for me, let's go all the way back to my mom as a child. Let's go even further back. My grandmother, my father's mother, my Granny,
Mhm.
she was everything, y'all. She was so fabulous. Like she did it in a way that you'll look back at the 1920s where you'll say, and she wasn't born in, y'all. She was born in 1936, I think. But when I look at old fashioned like that, it reminds me of her because it was every level was executed from the undergarments to the underwear to the next level where they wore slips to everything was done. You had to execute each and every part of it to get a greater outcome.
Yeah.
And I remember her laying out my underwear and ironing them, and then my slips, and then my dress, and then my socks or my stockings with the shoes and the hat and the gloves. Like she did the works. And
Wow.
when she did it, she did it. The hair was done, the face was oiled. There wasn't a part of your body that wasn't part of the whole ensemble. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you have like somebody like that, and kids learn by what they see, when you see something like that or a woman like that just executing every part of it, it's just like, oh, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And
Yeah.
then she would take us shopping. She would take us, we'll start at Macy's, then we'll head to Lord and Taylor, then we'll head to Saks, then we'll head to Bloomingdale's, and then it was Bergdorf's. So I got to see it all on one run every weekend. My grandmother was consistent with the shopping. So it was like, that's who I first envisioned. And then after that, it was my mom gave me the freedom to have my own style.
Mm. Okay.
And woo child,
Yeah.
I don't know why she did that because it was a hot mess, y'all. It was terrible. Now that, well, back then I
Uh-huh.
look at it and I say, back then I thought I was doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So now when I look and I'm like, why would she let me take my school picture looking like that?
But we all did, right? We all had a few moments where we were like, "Oh, this is. Oh yeah, I know this look good."
I
Especially
had far
when
too many
Valentine,
moments.
you start doing your own hair and all of that. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I had far too many moments like that. I'm gonna just leave it right there. Way too many moments like that where I look back and I'm like, my sister look all put together,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and I look crazy. I look like a bat out of hell. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's okay because because oh my god, um, she she just let me go free, and then from there I just owned my own style. Can you see me? I feel like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
my
You
Wi-Fi
good.
is not Wi-Fi.
You
Okay,
good.
you good? Okay, good, good, good.
You good.
Okay, so yeah, she let me own my own style, and from there, I was on my own after pretty much my sister and I were on our own like after 11. We had people, we were no longer with my parents. Well, I should say 14, 11 my mom, and then 14 my dad. I wasn't any longer with him. So we were going from house to house to house, living with different people, and that kind of did it. That'll
Yeah.
do it. You know what I'm saying?
So you felt like
But yeah,
in those transition years, that's when the
mhm,
styling, kind of you being your own, really started to evolve.
yeah, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it really did because I think at every stage it evolves. Even now, like now I just say I'm a different type of woman every day. It depends on who I feel like being. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like I literally say, okay, who do you want to be today? Like that's how I go with it.
Yeah.
And that's how I decide. Yeah.
So I love that you brought your grandmother, your mom into this, and even how the routine of your grandmother, right? The routine that
Hmm.
she's laying all this stuff out. She's ironing underwear. Like, so you're watching all of these steps, like you're watching all of these things that it takes to put a look together or put even just a feeling together, right? Because it's really all about how you feel once you get it all
Right.
together, right? So you watch
Yeah,
that.
it's your confidence in it. It's your confidence in it
Yeah.
once the looks are together.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So
Yeah.
if that were the case, then because I know when you were at FAMU, you were a part of the modeling troupe at
Yes,
Secur.
I was. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought, okay, so let's rewind back. Before FAMU, I was doing Mercedes Benz Fashion Week. I was a model, right?
Okay.
And then I went to FAM, and then it was a totally different style of modeling. So with Mercedes Benz, you're just walking that runway and then you're striding. With FAMU, there was technique involved. I wasn't used to that at all. When I say at all, at all. So it was like, wait, what's going on? And it was more like being in a sorority than anything. So, but I love my sisters and I love my brothers. We experienced life together and we're still experiencing life together. And I could call them at any time we travel the world together. Like it's go to a black school, y'all. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
Fam, go to fam. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we experienced life together. But yeah, it was a totally different style of modeling. But I appreciate that experience as well. It was a good experience.
Yeah. I love that you said it was like technique. It was things that you were learning. It was still things for you to learn, right? Even though you had
Yeah.
some experience modeling prior to coming to FAM. Because I personally remember going to several fashion shows at FAMU with Epicurean, and I was always like, yes, get it. Like I just felt like I was at New York
Yeah.
Fashion Week
You
or
know, Black
something.
people, we gotta add a little seasoning to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have modeling. We're gonna add a little seasoning to it. Yeah. So it was just season. We put that sauce on it, you know.
Definitely, because it was always entertaining. Like it was always a good show.
Yeah,
I always felt
absolutely.
like y'all were already professionals and knew y'all was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be rocking it somewhere, somehow in the future.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then you leave fam. Do you go
Mm-hmm.
straight back to New York, or did you? What was?
No, I did I? I'm trying to remember. Okay, I left. I got pregnant while I was at FAM. Don't get
Mhm.
pregnant while y'all in college. No, I'm just joking. Do what you want. Live your best life. I got pregnant while I was in FAM with my oldest son, Jeremiah. Well, back then we called him Moochie. I got pregnant with Moochie and I had to move back because I just lost my mom when I was at FAM. And then my dad got really sick and it was time to come home.
Mm.
So I came back to have the baby and to see my father, spend as much time as I could with him. And then he passed like a year later. But yeah, I went back to New York. I started life over. And let me tell y'all something. You can live anywhere in the world, but if you want to get money and get real money, New York is the place. Like if you want to make it quick, just to start off and then take it somewhere, New York is where it's at. So
Hold on, how you recruiting for New York? How you recruiting? You recruiting for New
don't
York?
stay there.
Like,
Just start it off there. I'm recruiting for FAMU. I'm recruiting. I'm just gonna be honest. You can hustle out there, but you don't want to hustle all your life. You want to find a thing and grind.
okay.
But start your hustle there, and then figure out what it is you want to do and grind in that area somewhere else, not New York. Don't raise a family in New York. Don't do that. That's not the smartest. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But go
But
there and get the bag. Go there, get that
if
bag
you're
real quick.
single, you don't have children, go there and find your niche. Have fun. New York is a place to have fun. But if once you get children, you get a family, go ahead and move. Get up out of there real fast.
So this transition back to New York for you was personal, very personal for you,
Hmm.
with losing both parents and then becoming a parent, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
became a mom and I was on my own. I was on my own. Yeah, I was. Yeah,
yeah,
no
but
guidance.
listen, tell the listeners the reality of that. Like that, I mean, I know we're saying it and we're
It was
laughing, but
real.
yes.
It was real. Okay, let me just say this. My cousin Garland told me, and Khalid told me, whatever I pray for my child, that I will have. Whatever I prayed for, if I would actually have it. And everything I prayed for Jeremiah Mucci, he's everything I prayed for. I left out a couple of things, y'all. Don't leave nothing out, because let me tell you something. I left out a couple of things, and I'm like, Dag, I forgot to pray for that for him, because boy, ooh, child. But he's amazing. He's successful. He's sweet. He's kind. He's generous. He's everything I prayed for. But being a single mother in New York, raising a young man with no parents, it was no walk in the park.
Yeah.
But life is what you made it. I didn't have time to dwell on what I didn't have. I had to focus on what I needed to do. So before him, I got whatever I want whenever I wanted, and I went wherever I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And no excuses. I was always driven. I was on my own since I was 14, like really, really on my own since I was 14, right? Even though my parents was alive, like my mom was schizophrenic. So she disappeared for a long time, for 5 years to be exact. My dad had multiple sclerosis, so he couldn't physically handle raising two girls. So we were just like in foster care without being in foster care, without actually being in the system, jumping from uncle to aunt house, friends' houses, sleeping on couches, sleeping in cars. I mean, it was real. Life was
Yeah.
real, but it motivated me to go harder and make sure that I took care of Keely. It was my motivation. It wasn't like, woe is me. I didn't have time. Like people be like, oh my God, you've been through so much. I don't feel sorry for myself,
Yeah.
because my life is not my life, it's God's life. So whatever plan he has for me and whatever walk he told me to walk, if it's his will, right? So
Mhm.
I'm like, Lord, if this be your will, if it be your will, then can you give me peace that passes all understanding in the midst of my storms? I know that you said this, and I know that you said that, and And it takes literally knowing the word and getting in your word.
Mhm.
My father had money. My father was well-to-do. My mother wasn't, but my mother left me an inheritance that's uncomparable. She left me the love of Jesus Christ. She left me relationship with my Heavenly Father. So on those dark days, I had no excuses because I was like, this is not my life. This is God's life. And I'm just his vessel. And my mother and father was just his vessel. And they did what they had to do with what they had. And I'm grateful for the time I had them, because I be looking at some of these mothers and fathers and I'm like, nah, I'll take the 19 years with my mother and the 22 years with my father over my parents living that long and throw the whole parent away.
Yeah.
Because they were amazing parents. And I'm able to say that about my father now because I realize he only could do what he can with what he knew. He was a young father. He had me at 19.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and there's forgiveness in that, right? Where I'm like, well, my dad didn't do this and my dad didn't do that. And I'm like, no, my dad did the best he could with what he had,
Yeah.
with the tools he had to raise me. So I'm grateful for what he did do, for what he did teach me. So no excuses. You
Yeah.
have no excuses. Do not dwell on who did what to you or why they did it or how they did it. Just more focus on the greater plan. Focus on tomorrow, not yesterday, because only a fool trips over what's behind them. So I wasn't
Woo!
mad. I
Say that
wasn't mad about,
again.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't sad about who, what, when, or why. Like, I've been through it. I've been raped. I've been domestic violence situations. I've been through a lot, but I'm so grateful for the experiences I have to say today, because I'm like, I overcame.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Forget being through it. I overcame all of
Right.
these things. And I'm so grateful for it, because now I'm able to speak on panels to say, okay, what else? I
Right.
already been through that. I'm okay. You'll be okay.
Yes.
Hold your head, fix your crown. You're going to be just fine. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just say no excuses. Yes, I had a little boy, but he motivated me even more. I was my motivation. He doubled it up. It was
Yeah.
double or nothing. It was like, all right, baby boy, I'm not gonna fail you. I'm not gonna fail me. Let's eat.
Yeah.
Let's overcome these obstacles. But what I did do as a young parent, because I made plenty of mistakes, is I apologized a lot.
Mm.
So as I was making mistakes in real time, I went to my son and said, hey, you weren't supposed to experience that, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
And in that area, I didn't do right by you, and I should have protected your heart. I should have protected your sight, but I did not, and I'm sorry. I don't know how to be your mom. I'm learning. It's trial and error,
Yeah.
but forgive me in real time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get. I promise I'm gonna get it right.
Yeah.
I might make the same mistake again because I'm still learning. I'm still raising myself. I'm suffering from arrested development, and you probably will too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do my best with what I got,
Yeah.
and I just said it's me and you against the world. And I don't know why I said that, because to this day he thinks that. But but I was like, we gonna figure it out. We don't have the support, but we got each other and we got God. And with God, we can't fail, So
Yeah.
we
Yes.
we figured it out. We figured it out.
This is just, first of
And we're still
all,
figuring it out.
there is someone listening today that needs to hear this. There is someone
Yeah.
listening right now that needed to hear you, that needed to hear some of the challenges and the things that you have endured over the years, and
Yeah.
to look at you now and to hear you just being an inspiration to all of us, that we got to keep it moving. You
Yeah.
got to keep it moving.
We
And
can't stop. Tomorrow's not promised, number
yeah,
one. And we were only promised 75, right? For those of us who know the word, we were only promised 75. So why dwell? You know what I mean? Why stay in that space? If you're not happy in a relationship, come up out of it. If you're not happy with a job, come up out of that. If it no longer serves you, start making a plan to make a move.
yeah.
Like, it's if you are American or you have your citizenship, why are you staying? Go get another job. Stop
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you as far as jobs go, I tell people all of this. Wait, are you American? You are? You got your green card? You got your working papers? Okay, cool. Why are you staying there?
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with that. If a lot of people look at their circumstances and say, oh, I got this many kids, I got 5 kids, I got 3 kids, I got different baby daddies, I got this. So what? Somebody's gonna love you.
Yep.
I promise you. I've seen the situations that most people would turn their noses up to,
Mm-hmm.
and seen them get married, find some amazing men or women to love them and their children and meet them exactly where they're at.
Yep.
And and it's no situation that God can't put you in a better situation. You get what I'm saying? But you have to choose you. You have to decide, I'm no longer going to do this. I'm more than enough. You know what I'm saying? You literally have to speak over yourself. You have to look in the mirror or write it down. God always tells me, write it down. Whatever you want from me, Keely, write it down. And
Yeah.
if you don't write it down, get on your knees. God loves our tears.
Yes, he does.
Let me tell y'all something. I will, in a minute, lock my store door and cry out to God. And I mean, like stuff that you would be like, ain't no way God did that. And I got witnesses where I'm like, God, I need $50,000 by tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know how you gonna do it because I ain't putting me in it. It's your burden now, God.
Right. Take
I
me
got
out of
me
it.
in this, but I'm gonna need you to get me out of this. And I promise you, before I even could say amen, I'll come up off my feet and I'll get a phone call. Keely, I got 25,000 for you. Can you send me that? Then the next 25 comes. Or somebody says, God said for me to sow a seed in your life. And it ain't little seeds, it's
Right.
$50,000 seeds. It's $10,000 seeds. God told me to give this to you, and I don't want to be disobedient.
Mm.
What I'm saying is the word of God says, if you ask, you shall receive. I'm not afraid to ask my father. You took my mother and my earthly father. Well, Dad, let me go ahead and get that inheritance.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Quick break there to get Keely in a good spot, but I think we're good now to continue this conversation. So one, I want to say this conversation is definitely meant for someone out there. She has definitely been an inspiration to lots of people. She has a phenomenal story, and we want to jump right back into it. So she's given us a little bit of her background and the things that she's done, and some of the challenges and adversities that she's faced throughout her younger years and even the early parts of her career. And so, Keely, I really want to get to a point where you can share with them what are some things like how did you come up with the actual boutique, right? And where did that start? How did you get there? So we knew you started out in New York, doing the dream job of a lot of folks, celebrity designer, celebrity stylist, and then moved down to Atlanta, took a huge pay cut, but experienced the happier life. And then how did you get to Secur? How did that happen?
So Secure came about because remember I moved to Atlanta to figure it out. Well, out of obedience to God, he told me to go sit down because I told him I'm happy with styling studies, but I wanted to know my purpose. I just lost my brother, and this was in 2009. And after I lost him, I lost my job. I was styling celebrities, but I pulled back from that. I lost my job as well. And then I I went to I went over to told me to go to Georgia. I'm there. Little did I know. So I started working at a company in Georgia as a manager. And then after my disobedience for 2 years, told me to go ahead and do what it is that he had me to do. At this point, y'all, I had no clue. Okay. But what are you doing here? And I was like, well, who is she? He was like, that everyday woman, and she's you. And I'm like, if you talking about me styling a everyday woman, how's she gonna pay? Remember,
Mm,
y'all, it was 5,500 a day I was making, and that was with one person. That was with Little Kim.
right, right.
For that, 'cause couldn't afford me. Right. So he was like, "Oh, everything you did for that company, look at their numbers. Look at the increase you brought to that company. Go and do that for yourself and make her feel the way that you made." And y'all, this is a ready-to-wear, low-price company. It was Charlotte Russe. Imma just everything in there was 9.99, 24.99, BOGO 24.99. Like, it was very I came from high-end retail, if I
Right.
did do retail. I came from styling big name celebrities. To go to that, it was like, what my friends thought I lost, but
Yeah.
what I did was gain my time, right? I gained peace also. And then I gained purpose. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, God, you want me to do that? I got depressed, y'all. I like to give you all the parts because I don't want you to think that things happened overnight and it wasn't. No, I went from this and this and I became this. No, it did not happen like that. I got depressed because I did not have the money that I used to have. wanted the nice things, the bags, shoes, the everything. And my son was used to a certain lifestyle. So I had to keep up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want people to think I fell off. So fast forward, now he forced me to leave that job. And I really was lost. And it doesn't matter what your bank account looks like. You just take the first step and he'll meet you there. He's already waiting there for you.
Yeah.
So even me starting Secure, I started another boutique before Secure. I went to film before Secure. So this is years of me being disobedient. From 2010, he told me to leave Charlotte Rouge. I left in 2011. I went to another company. I went to another company. It wasn't until 2015 that I finally owned my own boutique. And
Mm.
it wasn't until 2018, and I left that after a year and a half. It wasn't until 2018 until I got Secure. And with Secure,
Mm.
y'all had negative $70 in my account.
Wow.
So God had to get me, and I was homeless in 2015. Like God had to get me with owning a store in Eastern Pennsylvania. It wasn't Secure, it was Keely B Styles. But God had to get me to a point where I was completely naked and I was on my lowest that I ever had been at that point in life, to
Mhm.
just no choice but to look up to him and to cry out to him and to seek him and to seek blind faith, you know, because
Yeah.
it wasn't a man, a woman, anybody who can give me the satisfaction that I got just being one with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because without him, I felt like a ship without a sail. I felt so lost. Now I could get men to trick on me. I could get whatever I want, and I could hustle. I could do whatever it is that I want to get whatever I want. But if it's not aligned with my purpose, I didn't want it any longer.
Yeah.
Just crashed my Mercedes because God didn't give me that. A man gave me that.
Mm. Oh.
Away from my boutique. So I was following this young lady from Brooklyn, and she lived in North Carolina, and she was a pastor. My best friend sent her to me because my best friend knew I was at that low point. Mind you, my best friend is a believer, but she's also a believer in ancestors and all of that stuff. But she know what I needed. She knew what I needed, right? She knew I needed somebody who loved God, who followed Jesus Christ, and everything that I was raised on. So when somebody, let me just say this real quick, when somebody loves you, they're gonna give it you what you need, right? They're gonna meet you where you're at. So I'm so grateful for Stacy. So she introduced me to this woman on Facebook. I not introduced me, but she sent me over a link to watch her. Can I tell y'all that this woman, this day, I said, God, if you are real, first let's rewind back. This woman prophesied to me and was like, I'm talking to the young lady that's on her kitchen floor asking if it's God voice that she's hearing. I'm talking to you. Yes, it's God voice. You have not lost your mind. You on that kitchen floor every morning after you get them kids ready and out of the house for school, and you are crying and you are asking God, am I losing my mind or am I hearing your voice?
Mm.
And I was like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Like I was freaked out a little bit, and I shouldn't have been because I grew up in that type of church, right? The Pentecostal church where there is prophets there, where that makes sense. And I was like, all right, Lord, if she was talking to me, her followers only say from 2,000 to 2,500. I need today make that number jump to 10,000.
Mm.
Y'all, can I tell you that number jumped to 10,000?
Mm. Wow.
I'm just saying, try God out. I
Yes.
said, okay, God, that was what do you need me to do in this season?
Yes.
And then years came. And right before I open up New Year's in church. I try my best to. 9 times out of 10, I'm in church, right? Every New Year's Eve, right before that clock hits 12, God gives me the word for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
The word for that year was restoration. He
Mm.
restored my soul. And I was like, restoration. Oh shoot, that means you're about to do some work in me, God. I was so happy because I was in a season of darkness. I
Yeah.
lost my grandmother that year. I lost my man that year. I lost my car that year. I lost it all. What I thought was it all, but I had my life.
Yeah.
And what God gave me, y'all, with blind faith, I got a brand new Mercedes Benz truck, no down payment. Car note was only 400 and something dollars, but God.
Yes.
I got my business with negative $70 in my account, but God. I
Yes.
got a new apartment. Actually, I waited a whole year for the apartment. All I'm saying is he knew the plans. I wrote it down and made it plain. I showed up to where he said for me to show up when and thought I lost my mind. He said, sis, you hit the lotto. I said, no, I gained blind faith. I didn't hit the lotto. I got my God back. We won again. We together again.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow. Wow. And I was like, yeah. So he showed up. He was just right next to me like a puppy dog to every meeting with realtors to look at store locations. I was touching them, thanking God in advance for them. My
Yeah.
brother was sowing the seeds the year my mentor, I call him my brother, dropping off furniture for my store. And I was like, I'm not getting another store, y'all. It takes people like that to sow seeds in your life. Keep good people around you who could
Yes.
see the vision when you can't, when you're in the cloud, when you're in the darkest time of your life. My
Yes.
boutique, I got y'all, and then the vision God gave me, he told me to write down everything I wanted for this boutique. He said, this boutique is for her, that broken woman who walks around looking broken and she can't come out of that space.
Yeah.
She can't see the same way I was, right? But she's wearing her heartache. She's wearing her troubles. She's wearing her transgressions.
Mhm.
Fix her on the outside and I could work on her heart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, how does that look, God? He said, if you dress her up, I'll fix what's inside. However people perceive her is however they'll receive her. So if you make her exterior look good, I'll fix her heart.
Yes.
Because when people compliment her, it will build up her confidence. And
Mhm.
I was like, all right, let's work.
Yes.
Let's eat.
Yes. 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 I love this. So tell them, how can they find Secure? How can they shop with you? How can they support you?
So you can actually follow our Instagram page, which is Secure without the E, because you're imperfectly perfect. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? So you don't need an E on the end for it to be the same word. So it's Secure, Secur by KBS, which is me, Keely B Styles. Secure by KBS on Instagram. On our website is securebykbs.com. Um,
And if they
and
happen to be in the area,
if you
where's the
happen
location?
area, our store location is downtown Jersey City. Is right outside of the PATH train. If you do take public transportation, it's across the street from the Grove Street train station at 291 Grove Street, Jersey City, New Jersey. If you happen to take a train or Uber, I'm willing to reimburse you your Uber with your purchase.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because sometimes it's hard to. I get clients that fly in just to be just to experience the Secure Keely B Styles experience. If you do want to make an appointment with me specifically, you do have to make it 2 weeks. I prefer 2 weeks at a time, but if you're in town, just hit me and be like, Keely, where you at? I'll show up for you. We also have a location downtown Brooklyn inside of City Point, which is at Albee Square, the old Albee Square Mall. So at City Point Plaza, you can find us inside of there, inside of we actually have an anthropology field going on. So it's the Black Home and Secure combined. So another business owner named my partner named Neffy Walker, she owns the Black Home. She's a celebrity interior designer. We put out two stores together and we made something magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, love, love all of that. I got to make my way to actual location. I have been
She's a
supporting for you.
supporter though. She does support me, y'all.
Yes,
She,
yes. Keely is behind lots of looks that I have been able to slay because Lord knows I don't have a fashion bone in my body, but it's all right. I know good people.
you
I know people who can bring all that confidence out of me just by putting on a fabulous, fabulous outfit. So
I
Keely
love
has always come through for me, and so definitely love, love, love that, and thank you so much for that. And just I just want to take a moment to thank you for being so transparent today,
no
being
problem.
so open, because a lot of times, it's taboo to talk about certain things, certain traumas, certain things that we go through in life. And the whole reason I created this show and I called it Life Transitions is because I feel like everyday people that are just going through life every day are also going through challenges and adversities, and they're not talking about it, or they feel like they're going through it alone. And so I really appreciate you for just being transparent about the things that you've gone through and how you've overcome. And gosh, I mean, I really feel like this message is destined for someone. Someone is
Amen.
sitting there. Someone may be sitting on their kitchen floor, right? Someone may
Amen.
be having the same moments and experiencing some of the things that you experience. So I just have to say thank you for that. Thank you for giving the listeners the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more. It's so much deeper behind this stylist, right? And a business owner, and also that there are not always roses when it comes to owning a business and being successful, right? There's so many
Gotta go
different
through the
things.
thorns. Yeah.
Yes, there's lots of storms there. And so some people think it's going to happen overnight, or I'm going to open a business and be successful tomorrow. So thank you for even talking through the times where you went from up here to down here, and finding your happiness, and as well as the struggles of the financial struggles, right? So everybody's like, I want to make more money. I want to make more money. And sometimes you just have to be obedient to God's word, and
Amen.
and then it'll follow, right? So
Absolutely.
definitely appreciate that. Anything else? Any last words you want to share with the listeners? Anything you want to share? It could be about the business or just life in general.
I'll give you life because the business is gonna business regardless, right? If you show up, come get this blessing. But with life, every day is a new day to start all over. Leave yesterday behind you and just fix your crown. If you got to do it in the next moment, in the next minute, just do it. You know, just put it all behind you. It's okay to start all over. We get a new chance. Weeping will endure for a night, joy comes in the morning. Look forward to your morning, but joy also comes in the morning. When I say morning is in your tears, go ahead and cry it out, but then speak life over yourself.
Yeah.
Let it go. You know, let it go. And if it's too heavy for you to carry, give it to God and move on. Okay?
All right, y'all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Keely. Oh my goodness.
You're
Thank you so
so
much. This has been a phenomenal show. So I appreciate you.
you're so
Appreciate
welcome.
you so much. Thank y'all for listening again. This is Life Transitions Radio Talk Show with yours truly, Coach Latoya, here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. And we will see y'all next week.